welcome everybody to the November 24th, 2024, or 21st, 2024, part 2 of the JJ and Puck Show.
I was like, oh, you're going to have to edit that.
Recording from the House Movies podcast studio. This is patent pending. The song is called Wobble.
I love the name.
Dude, I know, it's great. But I'll tell you, this song, awesome. This is a fantastic song. If you ever come over and play pickleball, this will be played while we're playing pickleball. I love it. Baby, now let's go get it.
It's a good song.
Oh yeah, dude. It's the whole thing's rocking, man. Big fan. I don't know if exactly it's a workout song, but it's a fantastic song to have playing. Anyway, all right. So this is part 2, the sports podcast, and we got some things to talk about, man. One, how about them Sun Devils?
Dude, they're out of control. You know they were slotted to be 16-16, yeah. Right? And now they're like, I don't even know what they are ranked exactly in the division.
Right now they're tied as far as actual overall like rankings go. I think they're tied for second place right now. It's amazing what they have done in such a short amount of time. If you remember last year, they won 3 games, right? Going into the Big 12 this year, they were, like you said, picked by the media to be the 16th out of 16 teams in the stupid conference. It's called the Big 12.
Bad.
Yeah, they were the worst. And what they do, they go ahead and are now 5-2 in the conference, 8-2 overall, playing BYU this weekend. If they beat BYU will then be tied with them in conference overall. And Colorado, I think, will be first. And based on a couple of other like tie-breaking weird scenarios, ASU could be playing big Colorado or possibly BYU for the Big 12 championship with a chance to play in the college football playoff. That is stunning.
I think it's great.
That's amazing.
Like, thank goodness, like it's kind of nice. I still haven't jumped on I love watching ASU play, but I'm still not like rooting. I'm not like watching because I'm like, okay, it doesn't mean much yet, but it's still, they've done a phenomenal job.
What it is you don't want to invest because you don't want to get hurt.
I've been heartbroken.
Exactly.
I don't want to deal with it.
Dude, it's 100% the truth because it is hard.
I'm a Cowboy fan, bro. My heart's been broken.
Yeah, dude, you've already been wrecked.
Now they're talking about, you see the nonsense about how they're like, oh, maybe Jerry Jones is poised to get Deion Sanders and Shedeur. I'm like, please, just don't.
And my thing about that is he just signed the largest contract a quarterback has ever signed with Dak.
Yeah.
If his plan was to get the Sanders family, he wouldn't have signed that contract.
Well, I don't think that was the plan. I don't think he expected Dak to take a choke and then pull a hamstring so bad it comes off the bone.
And that's true. But at the same time, I don't think at the beginning of the season that he thought, hey, you know what we'll do? We're going to go ahead and sign this massive contract. And if things go south, we still have an out by getting Shedeur Sanders. And,
but that's what's going to happen. They're going to trade him just like that thing I sent you. They're going to trade Dak Prescott to somebody for a pick. They're going to take over.
Nah.
And here's the thing. They're going to trade Dak Prescott, and they're still going to have to pay Dak because the guy's going to take it, and Jerry will be like, it's okay, I'll cover what you guys can't.
See, but the problem is that would work in baseball. Football, that don't work. Because in football, you get a massive cap penalty. Yeah, dead cap space. The amount of money going out would absolutely ruin the cap situation for the Cowboys. They would not be able to sign anybody. Micah Parsons, forget about it. You're not letting Michael Parsons walk.
You better not. There's no way.
No, he's the best defensive player you've had since Deion.
Yeah.
I mean, am I wrong?
No, I'm trying to think of... No, you're probably right. I mean
he's
Sean
a great
Lee
year.
Was really good.
He was very good.
He just injury prone like a fool.
But you're not going to
That's the last problem with the last 2 linebackers we've had. Sean Lee and Leighton Vander Esch out of Boise State. Bro,
he was such a good middle linebacker.
Just phenomenal, but they can't stay healthy.
Yeah, and that's an unfortunate fact. But I think, and again, I could be wrong, but I really look at it and say the best defender you guys have had since Deion is probably Micah Parsons.
No, yeah, I'm trying to think of there's not somebody else I can think of.
Now, Micah Parsons has a good chance to screw it. And because he's having a bad year. He is.
Well,
but the entire defense is having a bad year.
They are, but the problem is they know, that's the thing about the NFL. To be good consistently, you have to be really hardworking.
You have to have so much confidence.
Right. And the problem is because okay, Micah Parsons was phenomenal last year, but you can't think that this year you're going to have that same way. Basically, I feel like as Micah Parsons, you need to work harder.
Yeah.
Because now they know who you are. They know how fast you are. And you're in the NFL. Everybody's fast. Everybody comes hard. Yeah, everybody's great. So they're going to adjust to you. The good ones can't figure it out. The great ones still figure out ways to be good, and he needs to figure it out, or he's going to go down as one of those guys that was really good but never just come over the mark.
I still think his talent is too good, too much to do that. I mean, it's fully within his capability to screw it, but I don't think he will. I think I gave the defense a huge pass in the beginning, thinking that, hey, they're still trying to figure out Mike Zimmer's scheme.
Yeah,
but at this point, it's like more than half the season's over. I'm sorry, guys. You're just devoid of talent, I guess. Because they let some guys in the defensive line go, like Jonathan Hankins. Wasn't your defensive tackle last year? He ain't there anymore. And he's a legit run stuffer. Well, let's get back to the Cowboys later. I had them a little bit later. But going back to the Sun Devils, I just want to make sure that we give a whole lot of credit to what's going on in Tempe. If you were to contrast that with what's going on in Tucson, the Wildcats have absolutely crapped the bed. They were picked, again, preseason poll, to be second.
Such a swing.
Oh my gosh, in a massive swing. And the thing about ASU is they're not doing it with like insane offensive output or a dominating defense. They're just winning when they have to. They're playing good defense when they have to.
Yep.
Cam Scadaboo has got to be like, he's probably my favorite college running back since ASU's ever had. And that's not the whole Arizona. But I think really he's my favorite running back ASU's ever had. The way he runs, it's like mini Mike Allstott. It's so fun to watch him play. And Sam Levitt might be the best quarterback they've had if he continues on this trajectory since Jake Plummer. I'm not including Jaden Daniels in that because when he was in Arizona, he had a good freshman season, a really bad sophomore season, and he looked to be getting worse every minute. Thank you. Oh my gosh. We play to win the game. That guy what a freaking jerk what he did to ASU. Just an absolute dude. I can't believe that we have gotten to where we're at right now. Kenny Dillingham has done such a great job recovering from the massive mess Herm Edwards left. Good on you, Kenny. Thank you for bringing some pride back to the Sun Devils. And I got that out of my... No. You have anything else you want to say?
No. No, it's fine.
Hey, once you start to invest, you're going to love it because I know they're a fun team to watch right now.
It's not that I'm a bandwagon person. I just don't want to invest yet. But I'm getting there. They're 8-2.
Listen, dude. When we get to talking about the Suns, that's exactly what I would say. I watch... But they're a tough watch right now.
I was almost going to go to the Lakers game on Tuesday.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, but my buddy had tickets. I thought he could get us tickets. It's just, his buddy's like, it's too much. Like, he could sell them for way more. He can pocket $1,200.
Oh, yeah. Why would
I sell them? I don't care enough. I don't care enough. We'll go to another game. Yeah. Sell enough. Sell them off.
But it really is one of those things like, dude, watching the Suns right now, it's a tough watch. Because, one, they're not healthy. Devin Booker, I think his legs aren't underneath him yet. And I think the Olympics may have done something with that where you just didn't get the normal rest you normally get. And maybe I'm making excuses for him. I don't think I am. I think I'm telling the truth, but he just doesn't look right yet. And him doing it all alone, it's not working at all. They need Bradley Beal and or Kevin Durant there. He can't be by himself because the role players he has around him are role players. They are not starting like difference makers. They are great role players. And when you have one guy, Devin Booker, the defense can just focus in on this guy.
It makes it a lot harder.
It makes it almost impossible. So that's a no-go for that. So that's a tough watch right there. Here's a question for you. If you have two legitimate MVP candidates on your team, can either one of them be the MVP?
Like, how do you pick?
Okay, so this is a conversation that happens all the time in baseball. If you have two great players on a team, neither one of them, they can't win the MVP because they're two great players. How could they be the most valuable if they're both lifting their team to, astounding heights? Like, you can't do that. And this is the question I ask specifically.
Yeah, let's talk about who?
Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry.
Oh.
How can either one of them be the MVP when they're both historically doing ridiculous things?
Well, and you're both, the reason why one is successul is because the other one is.
Because Derrick Henry definitely takes a lot of pressure.
You can do co-MVP, can't you?
No.
Hasn't it been done before?
I know it's been done in like Kurt Schilling and Randy Johnson were co-MVPs in the World Series, but not, on the season. I don't know. I don't think you could do that. Maybe you can. Have you tried your camera yet, by the way?
If I tried my what?
Camera?
It's off all the way.
Oh, yeah. See if it'll start doing it now. Now we're about 10 minutes in. But I just don't think that if Lamar Jackson wins a third MVP, it will 100% be because, one, he had a great season, but two, because of the pressure taken off of him by Derrick Henry. And if Derrick Henry wins the MVP, which hard to say he's unworthy, it will be because the amount of pressure taken off of him by Lamar Jackson. Because they're both huge weapons. So to me, it's like, you almost got to like take them both out of the conversation. They can't be the MVP, either one of them. It's got to go to someone else like Josh Allen, who
came through and beat the Chiefs.
Came through. Did you see that final play?
Threw somebody on fourth down.
Fourth and 2.
I think I can record.
Oh, sweet. Yeah, let's get that going. 4th and 2. This guy iced it. Iced the game over the previously undefeated Kansas City Chiefs, man. That's MVP stuff.
Oh, for sure.
Not to mention,
he ran through somebody.
Dude, it was like, Shalee's watching the game with me. Her new thing recently has been to watch like full games with me. She's never done this before in our marriage. This season, she's watched like, I don't know, 10 games from start to finish with me, which is really cool.
Yeah.
But she's like, did he do that on purpose? It almost like it was like an accident because the way he was like pinballing all the way to the freaking end zone for 30 yards on 4th and 2. Yeah. That is as studly a play as you can make, dude. He is such a monster
player.
And
I wish him success. I really just like watching him play.
And I don't want to take anything away from Lamar Jackson. No. Everybody here knows how much I have absolutely gushed over Derrick Henry. But I just think that you can't be the MVP if you've got another MVP candidate playing right beside you.
It makes it a lot harder.
It does.
I would agree.
And I think other players who haven't won an MVP, who are having amazing seasons, and this isn't the guy, but let's say Baker Mayfield takes the Bucs to the playoffs and wins the NFC South.
Do you want me to push record yet?
Oh, yeah, go for it.
Oh, I didn't know you were.
Yeah, mine's already recording, bro.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, there's going to be a picture of the JJ and Pug Show logo for 10 minutes on the show while me over here talking.
No,
and now you'll be in there.
And now I'll be in. Boom.
Yeah. So, but I mean, like, if Baker Mayfield got the Bucs into the playoffs and won the NFC South, he, to me, is the guy like, dude, he's leading the league in touchdown passes. He should 100% be an MVP candidate.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know. It's just, I kind of think that if there's two guys on the team that could possibly win the MVP, neither one of them could win it.
And it's a fair argument. Like you're feeding up most valuable player of your team or whatever, or however it works. I think when you have two, it makes it like you're kind of like you're only were because of him.
Yeah, exactly. And we know that's not true because we know both Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson are great individual players on their own.
Did Derrick Henry ever win on his own?
No.
So maybe they give it to Derrick Henry instead.
And I would actually be okay with that. I think
he earned it.
I think the last
30
non-quarterback
years old running through the freaking NFL right now like he's a 20-year-old kid.
He's running through it like butter, man. It's insane to me how good he is this year.
Because the NFL's soft, bro.
But I think the last running back or the last non-quarterback to win the MVP was Adrian Peterson in 2012. So it's been some time. And I would be okay with
who then tore his ACL afterwards. So maybe you don't want to win.
He was one before.
Oh, was it before?
It was because remember he tore his ACL the year before and he came back in record time and wrecked the NFL when people were like, dude, he's a freak.
Much. He was so
he's
cool.
a freak.
He was fun to watch.
He was in his heyday, dude. He was absolutely on top of it. And speaking about being on top of it, that's a great segue, right? Rarely do I have a great segue. It's usually like, let's talk about something else for a second. But speaking of on top of it, the Detroit Lions.
Dude, I'm sorry, but I will never own a Detroit Lions jersey, but man, I want to root for them.
Dude, if my team does not make the playoffs, there is no team I will be rooting for more than the Lions.
Yeah. Well, the Cardinals aren't going to make it. So
they'll make the playoffs. They'll get there.
I'm just kidding. They're actually playing really well.
They're playing really well.
But it's still early. You don't want to get hot too soon. Hey, we're talking baseball.
I know, man.
Arizona curse, bro.
Speaking of that, like if that was the case in the NFL, then you could look at a lot of teams that peaked too early, right? Like,
yeah.
But
the Chiefs.
I think the Cardinals are peaking at the right time. They started 2-4. They're 6-4 now. Like, that's a 4-game win streak. That's good stuff. And we're going to Seattle this week after the bye. Things are looking good. I'm not going to count my chickens before they hatch, though. But I think the Detroit Lions, if they're not the best team in the NFL right now, they're tied with whoever you want to say it is.
I don't know who you'd say it is right now.
I don't know either.
The Chiefs have won off of some random...
Yeah, they haven't blown anybody out.
They haven't done You're not convincing me they're better than Detroit. Detroit's just won.
Dude, they won 52-6. 52-6.
In the NFL.
In the NFL. And what did they do to the Cowboys? It was like 42-something,
right?
We
don't need to talk about it.
Well, I'm not trying to...
Why you got to bring it up?
What I'm saying is they have scored... I think they've scored 50 points twice this year. That's crazy.
I think you're right, actually. They scored 40 on the Cowboys.
Yeah, I think it was 44-19, right?
Yeah,
was that the final score?
It was something stupid.
Yeah, because...
I've kind of forgot about it because I don't like it.
Well, it's hard to handle. But, dude, the Detroit Lions right now, it's not just that they are playing this way. in front of nobody. I mean, out of nowhere. Like, they've been consistently getting better all season long. And they're doing this after they lost their best defensive player in Aiden Hutchinson. They're unreal. They won a game in which their quarterback threw 5 interceptions. That should never happen. That should be impossible to do. They are so fun to watch because
they believe, bro.
Yes,
that's I think the biggest thing is they believe in their coach. They believe with what he says, and they're doing what he says.
Doesn't it make you feel like so good for them?
I think it feels great for him.
Did you watch the Hard Knocks when he was in Detroit? I did, and it was one of those things where I fell in love with Dan Campbell right there. Like, I thought he was the coolest guy when he did his press conference. You know, when he's talking about, biting kneecaps on the way up. But then when he did the whole Hard Knocks thing and he talked about, hey, guys, I know you think I'm crazy, but I promise you I'm only doing this to make you better. And for it to actually come together that way. Yeah. Oh, and not just like, hey, we're 10-7. We barely made the playoffs. No, they are ruining people's lives.
They're crushing it for sure.
Absolutely destroying people. All right. So that one out of the way. Again, I'm not really good at segues. That's not my thing. But I know that the Texans beat the Cowboys last Sunday or Monday night. Was it Monday night? I'm not going to get into the loss. The Cowboys are done. Cowboys are cooked. Okay,
dude,
they're cooked.
Did you see they're actually? I don't know if it's true, but I read something like, and you'll fact check it. That they're considering just playing all the young guys and just letting the other guys just.
They should.
I mean, at this point, just go for a top draft pick. Like,
yeah,
who cares
Zach Martin got hurt. It was so sad to watch him off the field, bro. I'm not a Cowboys fan. It was hard to watch him walk off the field.
He's such a staple of that team.
Yeah, and again, when you hear about what Micah Parsons talked about, it was just rough to see. Like, dude, these guys, you can just see in their face, like, they're like, I came back for this. Like, I came back to get my butt kicked. Like, it can't feel great, especially for the guys who've been playing for a long time. But anyway, I'm not here to rag on the Cowboys. They're cooked. They're done. Season's over with. It's about draft positioning at this point. The whole reason why I'm saying that is because there were multiple times that when I watched CJ Stroud play last year, he was really good. He is not near as good this year. And I am wondering if it's just a sophomore slump, if it's defenses have figured him out.
I think that's it. It's the NFL.
But dude, he missed so many wide open shots. Like, just bad throws.
That's almost, maybe it's you have success at such a young age and you're yearly that you get a little arrogant.
Yeah,
and
maybe
you need a sophomore slump to show you that, dude, you're missing wide open throws. Like, you're not as good as you think you are because you stop working.
Yeah, and he's still good. Like, anybody just draft class, you take him.
He needs to eat, and that's the thing. He's not working to eat. Like, he's not putting in the work to see the reward of it. Maybe that's it. I don't know if that's true.
Yeah,
I'm just assuming, but there's obviously something changed. Like, he must be. I feel like he worked harder last year because he had something to prove, and now you proved it. Now you're trying to ride this wave, and it's like, no, dude, the work don't stop.
Yeah, maybe, and that could be.
I don't know.
Obviously, we're speculating from 2,000 miles away. We don't know what's going on in Houston. But I mean,
crime,
hurricanes. Yeah. But I'm just saying it because he is noticeably worse than he was last year. And I know the reason why a sophomore slump is a phrase because it happens a lot. But man, it is very noticeable with him. And the Texans aren't near the same team they were last year.
Not even close.
Maybe some of it's also because they were such a surprise last year. That we just kind of like
coaching people. Like, I think coaching changed a little bit with them. Like, people you can coaching against them. I think they worked. It's the NFL, dude. You're only going to be good at something to be really good. Like the Patriots. If you think about the Patriots and their dynasty,
it's insane.
It's really impressive
because it's insane
because teams don't do that. They don't make it back to the playoffs or the undefeated seasons or whatever back to back to back. Right. The Chiefs are kind of doing it right now, which is a token Andy Reid, which is incredible. But. It's the NFL. Like, everybody's so good that, like, you should be having games or seasons like this that are up and down because you can't use the same scheme twice. And the problem is, like, guys like Bill Belichick and now Andy Reid, they figured out ways to probably make minimal changes, but it just makes formations look different.
Yeah.
And they're not able to catch it. I don't know.
No, and I think you got a point to it because one of the things that's so rare in the NFL are dynasties. Like, they don't exist because the NFL is designed as a league for quick turnarounds, right? Teams come up and down quick in the NFL. There's almost every single year, there's a team that finished last in their division last year that will finish first in their division this year. One of those candidates this year, by the way, Arizona Cardinals. I'm just saying it. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm just, right now, they were last. They're in first. Just leave it there.
Why did we get a deeper voice when we're talking about
kind of whispering it? I don't want to.
Oh,
don't want want to jinx anything. So, but
whisper it with a deeper voice. That's the way it works.
Yes, yeah, right. But I think you're right. I think it has a lot to do with it. Probably it's just a matter of being discovered a little bit. Some of the throws I saw him miss Monday night were staggering to me. I really thought that they should have beat the Cowboys. And this is, again, Cowboys are cooked. I'm not trying to pile on. Yeah. They should have beat them by 50 because the Cowboys had no fight. And Cooper Rush, bless his heart, shouldn't be playing. Why is Trey Lance not playing? Why aren't you trying to see what you've got in Trey Lance? You traded a 4th round draft pick for this guy. You know what Cooper Rush is. He is a backup. That's what he is. And if Trey Lance he doesn't have it, why do you have him on the roster? He doesn't make sense to play. I don't know. I do not understand whatever. I told you I'm piling on. I don't mean to.
It's fine.
Is Aaron Rodgers going to be released or is he going to retire? How's that divorce going to happen?
Retire.
You think so?
Yeah.
You don't think he's ready to say, another team, take me, I'll go?
No.
He's not going to pull a Brett Favre?
Nope. I think he's just going to say, he already did by going to the Jets.
What I mean is he?
No, seriously, I think that's all it was. I think he tried. He realized that he's just not the same. Previous Achilles injury or previous to the Achilles injury, different story. But after that, he just hasn't been the same. And I think he's got to know he's cooked, and that he goes anywhere, he's chasing $1, and whoever gets him is just going to blow money. But I just don't think so. I think you just save the face, go back to Green Bay for a day, retire a Packer, and call it good.
I don't get the idea that he is that self-aware to understand that the team is worse under him than it was under Zach Wilson. Yeah. I don't think he's got it in his mind to see that it's on him.
Yeah, hopefully he'll figure it out.
So did you read the report that came out that the owner apparently was telling the coaches to bench him in week 4? Week 4.
No.
He was saying bench him, start the backup. He doesn't have it left. And that has happened. Since then, owner has fired the head coach. He's removed the offensive coordinator. Okay, he didn't do it. He didn't. Removed the offensive coordinator. He's now fired the GM. Okay?
If you don't listen to the boss.
I'm just saying, it's one of those things where the Jets have gone so far downhill so quickly. It's staggering. There's no way that Aaron Rodgers comes back next year, right? There's no way.
I would say no.
I'm looking at that and saying that's probably one of the sadder ends to a great career than I can remember.
It's unfortunate, but it's injury plagued, so it kind of makes it less sad, but just more real. Like, here you go, bro. Sorry, like you didn't just start sucking. Like you took a hard injury.
Yeah, it's especially at that age.
At that age, that kind of thing, and to think your mobility is so restricted.
Yeah, it's 0,
and you just don't have any confidence anymore. Like you're just like you're afraid to take that step. You're afraid to run. You're afraid to do all that. At his age, I think if you're 25, you fix it. You just don't care enough. But at his age, no.
It's one of those things. I just didn't think that his inability to throw would be so affected by it. Because he's
missing wide open.
Yeah, and Devontae Adams is going to wonder, why did I leave Oakland for this? Why did I leave Oakland? Why did I leave Vegas for this? Right? Like, yep. He got traded to go back and be with Aaron Rodgers, and it doesn't look like he's ever even played with Aaron Rodgers before. And Aaron Rodgers, again, he's never had more offensive ability surrounding him, and I don't think he's ever played worse. So it's got to be the end, right? It's got to be.
You would think.
I would be shocked if he's a quarterback of a team next year. I really would be. This is kind of a more abstract, just a question. Just get your thoughts and your ideas here. What teams, if I say a team, I want you to tell me which direction their arrow was pointing, whether they're going the right direction, wrong direction. Okay?
Okay.
And I want you to give me like your thoughts and feelings on when I say a team, okay? We just talked about them. New York Jets.
Down.
No elaboration on that one?
Nope.
Just an obvious down.
Down.
Okay. This is another one. Miami Dolphins. They're kind of in a tough spot, huh?
They are. I think they're going to go up.
I think they're on the up. Now, they have the thing going for them is they're in the AFC East. There's really only one team that they really have to fight there, and that's the Bills. And I was going to say where the Bills are at, because I think we would both agree that the Bills arrow is definitely pointing up, right?
Yeah.
And I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that when you have a generational franchise quarterback like Josh Allen, it's almost always going to be pointing in the right direction as long as he's leading the team, right?
Yeah.
the hard thing with the Dolphins, and the reason why I asked them is, you still don't know what you got in Tua. You know you got a quarterback, but is he going to be great? Is he going to be available? Hard to answer that question.
It's going to be super hard to answer that question.
Okay. Next teams. San Francisco 49ers.
Down.
What's your reasoning for saying that you think it's going down?
I hate him. No, I think with McCaffrey back and stuff, I think actually things are going to start looking up for them.
I actually am more in agreement with you when it says down. And some of that is because I don't think Deebo Samuel is the Deebo Samuel of old anymore. And when he is the focus of the wide receiving core, he's not that good. He is a really good gadget player. Kind of like a, what was that guy that played in Florida and he was with the Seattle? Percy Harvin.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? A great gadget player, a guy that can get big plays, but he's not an every down player. Okay. I think that's who Deebo Samuel is. And I think it's kind of over with him. Christian McCaffrey, we know his health has always been a hard thing to gauge. And this year, I mean, he just barely got back. He's been for 2 games. 2 games, he's totaled over 100 yards per game. And I think they lost both games. And so the one thing you could say you feel good about is Brock Purdy. I still feel good about Brock Purdy. Do you think 49ers fans do?
No.
You don't think you think they look at him and say we need to improve here?
No, I think they do. Actually, I think they're going to run. He's a second or third year guy. Like,
yeah,
leave him alone. Like, he's fine.
Okay, and then Brandon Ayuk's out for the year, so I mean, kind of take that into consideration. I just think that their best player on offense is Trent Williams, and he's a 36-year-old left tackle. How much longer does he have? The defense, I mean, you've got Fred Warner. He is the best middle linebacker in the game. But Nick Bosa, if he's not healthy, your team sucks. Like, they lost to the Seattle Seahawks because Nick Bosa went down. And I think it was like, what was it? Yard, like they gained like an extra yard per minute, or I don't remember. It was some stupid stat where once he couldn't play anymore, that was when Seattle started running the ball, started moving the ball, and they ended up winning the game. So I don't know, man. Like, I kind of look at the 49ers and think their run might be over. I could be wrong. Obviously, that's always a possibility. Someone could be wrong. But I would say I think their run is done. And so the next question would be the Los Angeles Rams. Which direction do you think their arrow is pointing? Because they got an old quarterback, but he's good.
I'm going to say up.
I kind of agree with you.
Yeah.
I would like to hear your reasons, though, because we might agree on this.
I just think it's strength of schedule coming up.
Yeah.
That kind of thing coming up. They know their conference isn't great. The Cardinals are really the only thing right now in their conference. If they can beat the Niners again later on, like they'll come out number 2 in their division.
And they got a really good coach. Sean McVay.
Yeah, I mean, like, he is a smart dude, man.
I mean, right now, the Rams are kind of looking like the Sun Devils, a team that was picked to be like one of the worst teams in the division, and they're winning games they shouldn't have any business being in.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of it has to do with Sean McVay. Matthew Stafford is good. He's a good quarterback, even though he's a little bit older. He's really good. But Sean McVay knows what he's doing, man. He knows how to get the most out of guys.
He's a baller.
I totally agree on that one. All right, so I'm done with the arrow game. We'll play that another time with other teams.
I like it.
Okay. The last one, this is the last thing they got to say.
Real quick, just touch.
Just going to touch this one. I don't think there is a better baseball player in the world than Shohei Ohtani, but I do not think he should be able to win the MVP playing as a DH. I just don't think.
It's hard. You
should not be able to just bat and be the MVP. I'm not taking away from the fact he was historic this year, right? A 50-50 season, 50 home runs and over 50 stolen bases. That's crazy.
It's insane. You have to give it to him.
Yeah, but it's not like he batted 330.
Yeah.
It's not like he had a historic batting average. Like,
it doesn't even matter.
No, and he also played. Like, this goes back to my MVP argument. Yeah. You can't be the MVP when you've got Freddie Freeman batting behind you and Mookie Betts. Like, I just have a problem with it. And it's not that I don't think he's the best player in the world. Right. He is. Who would I have given it to over him? That's kind of where the argument falls apart. I mean, Francisco Lindor of the Mets was there. Ketel Marte was there. I don't think Ketel Marte was the MVP over Shohei Ohtani. I just have a problem with giving the MVP to a DH.
And I don't think a lot of people would argue with you, but at the same time, they just respect the 50-50.
That's
all
hard.
it is. That's all it is.
It's really hard to argue against it.
And that's the thing. I think any other time he doesn't win, but because he got the 50-50, that's why.
Yeah. And it would be one thing if, let's say, if Ketel Marte and Francisco Lindor ended with a batting average over 300, I think there's a better argument for it.
Probably.
At the beginning of September, Ketel Marte was a very, very serious contender for it. His batting average was like 308. He ended the season like 292.
Yeah.
He ended on a cold streak, got hurt. But I don't know. I just don't think we shouldn't be giving MVPs to DHs. Like, you need to play in the field. You have to play some defense. You have to be able to be exposed, because there's nothing that'll expose you more than playing defense, man.
No, you're absolutely right.
And I understand. Whatever. I wanted to get that out there. Is he the best player? Yes. I just don't think he should be the MVP when you can't play both sides of the field.
Well, and I don't disagree with you. But again, it's the 50-50 talk.
Yeah.
That's all it comes down to, is the 50-50 talk.
And I also think if there was a stronger field, like a more like serious contenders for the MVP, the 50-50 talk would probably have been overridden. But the two serious contenders didn't bat over 300. They didn't have over 40 home runs. They didn't have over 100 RBI. So it's like, actually, did Lindor have? I think Lindor had 42 home runs. So, but the point remains.
Yeah.
Offensively, they just weren't in that same stratosphere. So I get it, but yeah, I don't like it. I also hate the Dodgers. So let that be known.
Jaded.
Yeah. So, all right, man. That's all I got.
Yeah. I'm just going to say something really mean about the kids, but I'm not going to this time.
I was going to say,
I love my kids. They're really good at dodgeball, except for I'd beat them.
Stay fresh, you cheese bags.
The JJ and Pug Show theme song was written, composed, and performed by Lane Hartman. Special thanks to Highland Communities for all the support given to our show. You can find the JJ and Pug Show podcast wherever you do listen to podcasts. Look us up on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Remember to share the show with your friends and family and subscribe wherever you do listen. If you're able to, please feel free to support us by sending a donation to us by going to ko-fi.com/the JJ and Pug Show. That is ko-fi.com/the JJ and Pug Show. Again, thank you so much, everybody, for all the support, whether that is by simply listening, whether that is sharing it with a friend, or giving us that sweet, sweet cash. We truly appreciate it all. Thank you so much.